got 2 t-shirt cutting tutorials for you today, so grab your scissors. For these tutorials, you will need 2 shirts, sharp scissors, a ruler, something to mark your clothing, and some beads. Okay, first up we'll do this beaded fringe top. Start by putting your shirt on inside out and marking the highest point you want the fringe to go at the side. Then mark the center of the shirt. Now lay your shirt down flat and measure where your side mark is, and then make the same mark on the other side. Now decide how far down you want your point to go. Mark that in the center and subscribe to my channel. Now use your ruler to connect those marks in a point. Measure from the bottom of the point to the bottom hem and mark it in the center. Then use that measurement to mark the same distance below the side marks. Now connect those marks you just made, making a second point parallel to the first. Draw a line vertically down the center of the shirt, connecting your 2 points. Now measure out and draw more vertical lines about 2 centimeters apart all the way across the shirt between your 2 points. Grab your scissors and cut along the bottom point. Then start cutting along all of your vertical lines, stopping at the top point. Open up or cut along your side seams up to the top point as well. Then stretch all of your strands of fabric. Alright, moving on to the sleeves. First I opened up the seam at the bottom of the sleeve to make them longer. Then I cut open the armpit seam just up to the shoulder seam, and then cut the fold at the top as well. Make sure the sleeve is lying down flat with all the edges lined up, and then cut the sleeve into strips from the end of the sleeve to the shoulder seam, just like we did with the point. Then stretch all of your strips. Then repeat on the other sleeve. Turn your shirt back inside in and grab your beads. Start adding beads to each piece of fringe and then tie a knot at the bottom. This part takes forever, but it's worth it. And that's the shirt. The last tutorial will be a macrame-inspired tank top. Start by putting your shirt on inside out and marking the highest you want the macrame to go in the center. Then mark your waist at both side seams. Lay your shirt down flat and use your ruler to connect your 3 marks, making a point. Now from the center of the point, draw a vertical line down to the bottom of the shirt. Now we're going to draw more vertical lines parallel to the first from the point down to the bottom of the shirt, an inch apart. So measure out and make marks an inch apart across the shirt and use them as a guide for your lines. Grab your scissors and cut off the bottom hem. Then start cutting along your vertical lines up to the point. Stretch all of your strands of fabric and turn your shirt back inside in. Now to the knots. We're going to start with just the front layer of fringe, so tuck the back layer behind for now. We're starting with a square knot about an inch down in the center. So grab the 2 center strands and tie them left over right, then right over left, or vice versa, just like tying shoes, so that the ends are sticking straight out either side. Then tie another square knot about 1 inch down with the next 2 strands. Repeat on the other side so you have 3 square knots about 1 inch down from the point. Then add 1 more set of square knots on either side. Now we're going to do another row of square knots, so grab an end from the first knot and then grab an end from the knot beside it, and tie them together about 1 inch below the first row of knots. Do the same on the other side. Then add 1 more square knot on each side. So you should have 5 knots in the first row and 4 in the second, about 1 inch below. Now grab your 2 center strands and tie them together in a regular knot about 1 inch down so that the ends are sticking straight out the bottom. Just wrap both strands around in a loop and pull both ends through. Then do the same thing with the next 2 strands, tying them in a regular knot 1 inch below the second row. Then the same on the other side, so you should have 3 regular knots in the third row. Then for the last 2 knots, you're going to take the next 3 strands on either side and tie them together in a regular knot about 1 inch below the second row of knots. And that's the pattern. So flip your shirt around and copy that pattern with the fringe on the back. Then I tried to do macrame sleeves like I did in my last fringe video, but there just wasn't enough fabric, so I ended up cutting off the sleeves. And that's it. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, or if you have any questions, be sure to let me know, and if you're looking for more content, check out my other social media, all at Anorthotol. You can subscribe to this channel by clicking here, or watch another video right over here. Thanks for watching.